on the hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all here checking us out on today. As always, we bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. You hit that subscribe button right now. Tap subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Also, share the show to everybody that you know. Every friend, every family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football, anybody who is just straight on loving Crimson Tide, share the show with them, because if you're feeling the content, guess what? They will also. Don't forget to like the show as well. Give us that thumbs up there, like the show, tap that thumbs up, hit the like button right there. We appreciate that. Trying to get this show 50 likes out the gate to start it. That daily super chat goal, $100 daily. Super chat goal right there, $100. We appreciate that support coming from you. Also, hit that notification bell so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama football news, notes, and information. We got a message board here for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. If you're trying to help grow the message board, you definitely want to jump in there, touchdownalabama.com. The link to get to the message board in the chat line and in the description. Get those conversations started off correctly. But we want to hear from you tonight, the passionate fans of Bama Nation. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. But we're going to get into right now topic number one of the conversation. Before topic number one, we got one more thing to get into, and that being in our partnership, the TDA partnership with Alumni Hall. They have a Father's Day sale right now. So all dads, peep this out, all dads, we're trying to get your swag on here. Alumni Hall got the Father's Day sale, and you to get the sale, you use the promo code for TDA. Use the TDA promo code TDADAD23. That's TDADAD23. Use that promo code there. You get 20% off your purchase. That link there in the description. Alumni Hall got your swag there for Father's Day using that promo code TDADAD23. Get that 20% off your purchase there. But beginning right now, topic number one of the conversation, and people, it is here. The SEC Network this evening released the conference schedule for all teams in this conference. Released the conference schedule for 2024. So SEC Network has released this out for all of its main schools here, with the inclusion of Texas and Oklahoma that will join the conference as of next year. So we have the schedules here of the conference games here, 2024 for the SEC. And Alabama's got an intriguing schedule. I understand. According to Commissioner Greg Sankey of the SEC, doing away with divisions, so you won't have the East or the West for 2024. The conference doing away with divisions, but, you know, it's still keeping the 8-game conference-only schedule, but with hope that it can be pushed to that 9-game conference-only, that 9-game conference schedule upon the future approaching. But we got here 2024 matchups for the Crimson Tide, and we're going to look at these right now, as all of these are intriguing. But for starters, you look at here, according to reports, Alabama will host, when you look at the conference schedule here, it will host Georgia. The Crimson Tide will host Georgia. That was the big thing that came up today, the first of the big news. The Crimson Tide will host the Georgia Bulldogs in 2024 inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. This will be the first time since the 2020 season, in terms of the COVID pandemic, the COVID-shortened season, where Alabama will host Georgia inside Bryant-Denny. Going to be a very fun matchup, a very intriguing matchup, especially when you look at the Crimson Tide losing to the Bulldogs in the 2022 college football playoff national title game to end the 2021 season. But to have Georgia on the schedule for 2024. You get them in Tuscaloosa. The last time they were in Bryant-Denny was, like I said, the 2020 season. Alabama getting the 41-24 win over the Bulldogs there. And even in the 2021 SEC title game, Bama got the 41-24 win over Georgia. When you look at Coach Saban and Kirby Smart, here's a big moment here for Coach Saban when you talk about next year, continuing to try to assure the masses that, Georgia's not the standard in college football just yet. Everyone's talking about, Georgia's the new standard, Georgia's the new it team, Georgia's the new powerhouse, Georgia's the new needle in all of college football. But Coach Saban, when you look at the 2024 campaign, he's got an opportunity, and having Kirby Smart right there in Tuscaloosa to show he has not given up the reins of being the greatest of all time in college football just yet. So Saban would have a second opportunity to host Kirby Smart in Tuscaloosa. Also, the Crimson Tide will travel to Oklahoma for 2024 with the Sooners, one of the newest members here of the SEC, joining with Texas. Alabama will travel to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. And Chris Lowe of ESPN reported that story this week. So you have Alabama will host Georgia. Alabama will travel to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners in 2024 in Norman. So those two stories were kind of the tipping point to get to what happened now, which is now the entire 2024 conference-only schedule is out here for the Crimson Tide, and it's right here on screen. So for the home games in terms of the SEC, Alabama's got Auburn at home with Hugh Freeze. You have Auburn at home. You got Georgia at home. You've got Missouri at home, drawing them. And then you got South Carolina at home. So all of those intriguing matchups. Missouri's going to be improved under Eli Drinkwitz. They're going to be even better. They're going to be better. South Carolina under Shane Beamer continues to grow and make strides. So that South Carolina game will be intriguing. You know what Georgia is under Kirby Smart. Auburn under Hugh Freeze. That would be year 2 under Hugh Freeze. Should be a challenge. Should be fun. Should be very competitive. That'll be interesting. When you look at the road games, the away games for Alabama 2024 in terms of conference, you go on the road to face LSU in Baton Rouge, Tiger Stadium. You already got Brian Kelly talking about, LSU's now the hunted. The SEC is going to come through LSU. LSU's the team to beat. Brian Kelly really hyping up here what's going on down there in Tiger Country. Alabama goes on the road to face the Tigers, and more times than not, when Bama has gone down to the Death Valley, with the exception of last year, Alabama has been successful down there in Baton Rouge. The next road game, you got Oklahoma next year. You go on the road to Norman, taking on Brent Venables. That should be fun. I mean, the Sooners have a strong fan base, good crowd on hand. Your first time taking on Oklahoma. That should be a fun matchup. And the last time Bama faced the Sooners, you would have to go back to 2018 college football playoff semifinal, the Orange Bowl, where Alabama had Tua Tagovailoa, Oklahoma had Kyler Murray. The final score was 45-34, if I'm not mistaken, in favor of Bama. So 2018 was the last time the Sooners faced the Crimson Tide, but Alabama will travel to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners next year. That moves us down to the Tennessee matchup. Alabama would go all the way up to Rocky Top to face the Volunteers. Now, of course, after sustaining or suffering a loss to Tennessee this past season, Tennessee gave Josh Heupel his big contract extension. Of course, the Sooners, not the Sooners, but the Volunteers, will have, their recruiting jumping up top of the board here, trying to make sure that when Alabama goes back to Neyland, they're trying to make sure they can get another win over Alabama at Neyland Stadium. It will be an interesting matchup. It will be a fun matchup. It will be an entertaining matchup going back up there to Neyland Stadium. And last but not least, Bama will have Vanderbilt on the road under head coach Clark Lay. Coach Lay should have Vanderbilt much so improved there in Nashville. Could be a fun matchup there as well. So you look at the home games and the road games in terms of conference schedule here for Alabama 2024. That's up pretty nice there. The one intriguing thing was, how about no Texas A&M was on that schedule? And we'll get to that even more later on here in the show. But just not having A&M there on that schedule for 2024. Very, very intriguing there. But we're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, folks, we're going to go to the phone lines to get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations, a dialogue with you. What did you think about the schedule that's out right here from the SEC for Alabama? Are you liking it? Are you feeling it? If you are, definitely want to have you in that message board, giving your comments, giving your thoughts, your conversations, your dialogue there. You can access the message board from the chat line. The link is also in the description, so check that out there. And also, line us up in the phone lines. We get to you after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
And folks, we are rocking and rolling back in here to the action from the break on a Wednesday hump day on the number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate all of you guys checking us out here on today. Continue hitting that like button, tapping the thumbs up. Appreciate the love right there from you once again, trying to get this 50 likes out the gate, starting the show here. Hit that like button, show that support, hit that subscribe button as well. Share the show to everybody that you know here, because if you're feeling the content, they will also. Guys, show some love to my man Kenny Heathcock. Kenny Heathcock with that $5 donation in the super chats, dropping the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that from my man Kenny. The daily super chat goal, $100 daily. Super chat goal, $100 right there. Appreciate you guys showing us the love. Want to remind you that for all dads out there, all fathers, you're trying to get that Father's Day swag, that Father's Day gear. Our guys at Alumni Hall, the partnership there, they got the sale going for all dads. You use the promo code TDADAD23. That's TDADAD23. Link in the description right now. If you use that promo code, you get 20% off your purchase. So you go right now, you use that promo code TDADAD23. Once again, that's TDADAD23 to get 20% off your purchase. That's for Alumni Hall there. But we got a caller on the line, 205-448-1358. Now I'm going to let your voice be heard. 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Roll Tide, roll Steven. What's happening, my friend?
Doing great, William. Doing fantastic, man. I cannot complain here. We got the schedule out, conference games for 2024. So the home games, you got Auburn in there. You got South Carolina, Missouri in there, Georgia in there. Your road games, you got LSU. You got Oklahoma in there, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. So it's set up pretty nicely here for the Crimson Tide where 2024 is concerned. You got some competitive games, some good matchups. Looking forward to seeing how how Nick Saban maneuvers it.
Yes, sir, man. I'm just excited. You mentioned that 2024 schedule there. I'm just excited to get old Jog over here and show him that Bryant Denny is just as much as Bryant Denny as it is the Bama Dome over there in Atlanta there.
I'm looking forward to that matchup, William, to see Bama take on Georgia and Bryant Denny. The last time that happened was 2020, the COVID-shortened year, but Bama got that 41-24 win. We even saw in the SEC title game 2021, Bama handling the Dogs fully healthy at that time by the score of 41-24 as well. I thought it was even interesting when Coach Vaughn, the new baseball coach, he had his presser the other day, and he made everybody laugh by saying how he almost passed out meeting Nick Saban.
Yeah, you got to respect a guy like that, man. I believe it's going to be our year, and we're going to make it all the way to Natty and going to bring that trophy back home. Roll Tide. Let somebody else on, brother.
Appreciate William calling in from Iowa here on a Wednesday. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're live on the show, caller.
Hey, Steven.
What's happening?
Hello. Hey, I'm calling about Jeremy Pruitt, man. What's the update about Jeremy Pruitt?
Well, right now, nothing has come out. It is weird. All the reports were indicating that something early June would be out on Pruitt. Nothing has been released. I've always been one to say that no news is good news, that no news is they have nothing necessarily really attached to Pruitt. It's been really quiet right now. When something comes out, I will be sure to funnel that information to everybody. But as of right now, been quiet. But like I said, no news at most times means good news. My expectation is still to more than likely see Pruitt in Tuscaloosa by August 1 as a defensive analyst. But like I mentioned, the moment something comes out, I will get that to everybody.
All right. Appreciate that, then, Steven. Have a great day, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate that caller right there coming into the show. Like I said, for a lot of people, no news is good news. When there's nothing to report, when there's nothing to say, you can look at that and go, did anything really truly happen? Did anything really truly transpire? Did anything really truly go down as a -2-1 Jeremy Pruitt? But like I said, the moment where I get something comes to me, I will get that out there. Like I said, from what I've heard from everybody close to this situation, is the expectation is that Pruitt should be in Tuscaloosa here August 1 as the defensive analyst, but we'll continue to keep all eyes on that. Gotta show some love to the man, Don Parker, dropping in that $5 donation in the Super Chat, showing love here. Appreciate that from the man, Don Parker. We go, actually, to a fun call topic right now, Bama in the NFL. But New England Patriots, is Bill Belichick finally going to give Mac Jones a true number one wide receiver? It's starting to kind of look like that now. DeAndre Hopkins, former first-round pick, 2023 NFL draft from the Clemson Tigers. He spent 10 seasons in the NFL with the Houston Texans and Arizona Cardinals. The guy at 31 years of age still has plenty of football left in his tank. 5-time Pro Bowler. Of his 10 NFL seasons, 6 of those 1,000-plus yard receiver. This is a guy that's really good. And he visited with the Tennessee Titans prior to making his rounds with the Patriots. He left Tennessee without an offer being put on the table. He's with the Patriots right now. He'll be with the Patriots also Thursday, tomorrow. There's growing optimism in Foxborough that the Patriots will not allow Hopkins to leave without an offer being on the table. And with Hopkins being a free agent, New England does not have to give up anything. They can keep everybody that they have and then add D-Hop to what they have. If this happens, boy, oh boy, we're about to see Mac Jones go back to what he did. Not just his rookie season for New England. We're about to see Mac Jones go back to do what he did his final year at Alabama, his first year as a starter in 2020, when all the brother did was throw for 4,500 passing yards and 41 touchdowns, getting the Crimson Tide to a perfect undefeated season, winning a national championship. So we're keeping all fingers crossed that New England has Hopkins in here with a deal on the table that Hopkins agrees with and is happy with. But we take our next break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, just getting your chest warm when we get back. We're going to break down all of the marquee matchups that Alabama will have off this 2024 schedule. We'll get into it after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're rolling back in here to the action from the break on a Wednesday, hump day. Highest ticket in the streets. We're talking Crimson Tide football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys in here. Continue to tap the like button. Hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. We're already at 58. We're over 50. Let's go for 75 right now. Hit the like button. Tap the like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Continue to subscribe as well. Share the show to everybody that you know, because if you love the content, they will also. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. Be reminded, all dads, all fathers out there, you're trying to get that swag, you're trying to get that gear for Father's Day. Our partners at Alumni Hall, they got you covered with the Father's Day sale right now. You use that promo code TD. You use that promo code TDADAD23. That's TDADAD23. Use that promo code. You get 20% off your purchase. So for all dads trying to get that Father's Day gear, Father's Day swag, courtesy of our guys at Alumni Hall, you use the promo code TDADAD23. That's TDADAD23. Link in the description there. You get 20% off your purchase. Our guys there at Alumni Hall. But we're back into the conversation here. We saw the Alabama 2024 conference schedule, SEC games, home games, road games. But now it's time to get into, the marquee matchups. What could be the biggest test, if you will, the biggest challenge, if you will? So when you discuss, Bama football, they've got some competitive games. Coach Saban, Alabama, they've got some competitive games. And this is what Saban's been wanting, right? And this is what the Alabama fan base has been asking for. More competitive, more fun, more marquee matchups, more games that get me to a TV set and have my eyeballs glued on these particular matchups. This is what all of you have been wanting, demanding, asking for, and now we see it. Now we get it here with this 2024 schedule. And as you look at just the matchups that will be the biggest test, you pull out Georgia, obviously, because you're facing Kirby Smart, you're facing the Bulldogs. People have said for a while now, Kirby has taken what he has learned from Coach Saban. He's brought it over there to Georgia, and he's got the blueprint working over there in Athens, where you've won back-to-back national championships. People are looking at Georgia as the new standard of college football. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But you have Georgia on the schedule. That is self-explanatory. That's a marquee matchup. you got to take advantage of that through Alabama football. South Carolina, to me, is very intriguing, very interesting. Like I said earlier, Shane Beamer as the head coach, he's made a lot of improvement to that team, a lot of improvement to that roster. Those guys play hard. Those guys play sound. They play physical. They get after you. They tore up Tennessee a season ago. So keep your eyes there on one South Carolina. That's an intriguing team. That they went up against Notre Dame in the Tax Slater Gator Bowl this past year. They came up short 45-38 against one Tyler Buckner and Notre Dame. But South Carolina, they're intriguing. Definitely keep your eyes on them. LSU, you look at that game, you're going to Baton Rouge. You're going up against Brian Kelly, who's already made a statement stating that, he loves beating Nick Saban. He loves beating Alabama. I mean, everybody, when they get their first win over the Crimson Tide, when they get their first victory over Coach Saban, they go, I just love beating Bama. I just love taking down Coach Saban. That LSU matchup definitely circled on everybody's calendar for 2024 in Baton Rouge. Tennessee, after Josh Heupel got his first win over Nick Saban, after Tennessee got its first win over Alabama in over a decade at Neyland Stadium, Tennessee's thinking, hey, we can take down Coach Saban. We can beat Alabama. We got our first win the first time in over a decade, so we can make more of a habit of doing this. For 2024, you go back up to the Rocky Top to take on Tennessee. That's going to be a fun matchup, being able to try to shut down, quiet down that environment. And then, of course, Auburn. You got Auburn 2024 in Bryant-Denny. You face Hugh Freeze. The last time that Hugh Freeze was inside of Bryant-Denny was when he was the coach for Ole Miss. You look at 2015 that year. Beat Alabama in Bryant-Denny as the head coach of the Rebels, though it took a whole bunch of weird things to happen, including a ball that was bounced off of the helmet of an Alabama defensive back, landed into the hands of Quincy Adebayo, the receiver. He goes for a touchdown. The final score was 43-37. Just a lot of weirdness happened, but Ole Miss got that win there. But you have Hugh Freeze will be in Tuscaloosa 2024 as the head coach of Auburn. That'll be a fun matchup. And then, of course, you go on the road to Oklahoma, taking on Brent Venables. That will be a fun matchup there as well. So, to me, those are the biggest matchups for Alabama 2024. Georgia, South Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn, and, of course, Oklahoma. Now, going back to what I mentioned in the first topic, it's just intriguing. It's weird how A&M is not on the schedule for 2024. Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher is not on the schedule. And Jimbo, if you're trying to get that revenge, he's going to have to get it this upcoming season when the Crimson Tide travels to College Station, Kyle Field, to take on the Aggies. If he's trying to get that revenge after losing to Alabama 20-24 last year in Bryant-Denny, he's going to have to get that revenge this upcoming season because next year he doesn't play Alabama. So this is going to be a big matchup in the fall for Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M to try to see, can we get a win here? Because the following season, we're not going to be able to play Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide. So they'll have bragging rights over the Aggies should Alabama beat A&M in Kyle Field this year. They'll have bragging rights for, 2 years? Have bragging rights for 2 years. So it's going to be interesting to see, what takes place in the upcoming season between these two, Saban and Fisher, especially with the Aggies not on the schedule for 2024. I think that's weird. I mean, I wouldn't mind calling the SEC front office and getting the question on, how did that happen? How did that go down? You're not playing A&M. You're not playing Jimbo Fisher in 2024. But I'm pretty sure if I call Commissioner Greg Sankey, he would have an answer for me. He would have a very detailed answer for me in that regard. But we're going to go to another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting started here, people. Continuing the conversation. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We get to your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Who would be the biggest test for the Crimson Tide, in your opinion, off a 2024 schedule, conference schedule? Definitely want you guys hopping in that message board, getting the conversation started, growing that message board there, having your topics, your dialogues right there. But also, lighting us up on the phone lines with that same conversation. We'll get to you after this.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Marvin Constant, All-SEC linebacker and 1999 SEC champion. You are listening to In My Own Words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're rocking and rolling back in here with you to the action on a Wednesday, hump day, in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, hottest show in the streets right here, giving you your Bama football news and needs and everything concerning your Crimson Tide. Continue hitting that like button, give us that thumbs up there, tapping the like button, showing that support here for the show, hitting that subscribe button as well. Sharing the show with everybody that you know. We're 7 likes away from 75. Stop what you're doing. Hit that like button. Tap that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. 7 likes away from 75. Appreciate your support there, the Bama Nation. As always, to all dads out there, you're trying to get that gear, that swag for Father's Day, you go to our guys at Alumni Hall, the link in the description. You use the promo code TDADAD23. That's TDADAD23 to get 20% there off your purchase. Our guys at Alumni Hall. We also have a message board here for you. And if you're trying to help us grow the message board, touchdownalabama.com. The link to the message board in the description. Also in the chat line, touchdownalabama.com, to the message board. Wanting you guys to get in there, starting that conversation, generating that conversation, what you want to discuss, what you want to talk about, the topics you want to pursue when we're discussing your Alabama Crimson Tide. So definitely check out the message board, touchdownalabama.com. But just as you guys are getting your thoughts in here, 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in to let your voice be made known. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. I mean, this upcoming season is going to be fun, y'all. I mean, I am pumped about this upcoming season. When you talk about the schedule that Alabama's got here, playing Texas in week 2, and then you discuss the coaching staff that's in here, the job that Kevin Steele has done thus far, getting this defense to look mean, look physical, look energetic, high enthusiasm, high motivation. Guys are ready to get after it. Tommy Rees with his offensive scheme and skill set, with the tight end sets and the 12 to 22 personnel, and wanting to not just run the football and have balance, but still have that passing element, because Saban not trying to lose what he's been able to see with Tua Tagovailoa, with Mac Jones, with Bryce Young. So he wants to continue being able to air the ball out with whomever the starting quarterback is, whether it's Jalen Milroe, whether it's Ty Simpson or Tyler Buckner. He wants to continue to still air that football out up and down the field. So, I mean, this season, the offensive line with the monsters up front, Tyler Bucker back, J.C. Latham back, Seth McLaughlin back, Darian Dalcourt back. You got young names in there like Jaden Jaden Roberts and Terrence Ferguson in there. But we have a call in queue. You are live on the show right now. How are we feeling? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Charles calling from Demopolis.
Charles is back. Charles, what's happening, man?
Nothing.
What's on your mind, Charles? It's good to have you back, man.
Thank you. What the schedule looking like?
So the schedule, Charles, for 2024 came out from the SEC Network for Bama. So the conference schedule, the home games, you have Auburn at home, Georgia at home, South Carolina at home, Missouri at home, and then for your road games, you've got LSU on the road, you've got Oklahoma on the road, you've got LSU on the road, Oklahoma on the road, Tennessee on the road, and Vanderbilt on the road. So got a pretty cool schedule here of conference games, home and road, for 2024.
Okay. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Charles from Demopolis calling in. Happy to have Charles back in here, giving us his thoughts on the show, wanting to know this 2024 schedule that just recently came out here, the SEC Network unveiling that. But we're going to go to a cool call topic, and it's actually on former Alabama linebacker Will Anderson, of who he's been tearing up whether it's rookie minicamp, organized team activities, now the Texans, and mandatory minicamp. Will Anderson, the number 3 overall pick in this recent NFL draft by DeMeco Ryans and the Texans. But it was cool. One of the Houston legends was at the minicamp the other day. And we're talking about J.J. Watt, one of the greatest to ever play in the NFL. He's going into the Houston Texans Ring of Honor. Talking about a 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, a perennial Pro Bowler, a perennial first-team NFL All-Pro. He's on the NFL 2010s All-Decade team. When you watch the top 100 players of the NFL, J.J. Watt's always in there. I mean, this dude is just larger than life. And he spoke during the minicamp for the Texans, getting a chance to see Will Anderson up close and personal. I mean, the man said Anderson's a phenomenal player, a phenomenal talent. He can get out for the quarterback. He is excited to see what DeMeco Ryans is going to do with one Will Anderson. So the young man already getting some kudos, already getting some praise from an NFL great in one J.J. Watt. And that is awesome to see and hear and be a part of. But taking our final break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, people. When we get back, we tidy up loose ends with one Bryce Young and how defensive players are already saying that Bryce Young is that dude in Carolina, and they're already saying he's already grabbed the locker room. We'll finish things up with Bryce Young after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we appreciate every last one of you today on the show, calling in, writing in, texting in, donating in, making this your show, your network platform, channel, and space here for all things Crimson Tide football. We're back in here from the break. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith here. We're at 80 likes right here. We're at 80. Let's end up with 100. Continue hitting the like button, tapping the like button, giving us that thumbs up. Stop what you're doing, hit that thumbs up. We're trying to go at 100 to round out the show. We're at 80 right now. We appreciate you guys for all the love. But we wrap things up here with one Bryce Young, who is killing it in Carolina. He is the man for the Panthers right now. I mean, ever since Carolina made the move to trade up to get the number 1 overall pick from the Chicago Bears, and been using the pick to take Bryce Young, number 1 overall, it has been something nice to see. I mean, he's tearing it up. He tore it up rookie minicamp, tore it up OTAs to where Frank Reich, head coach, moves him up to QB1, starting quarterback, so he's getting all of the first-team reps. And now, in mandatory minicamp, he has really taken it up a notch. And now you've got veteran teammates speaking real high on this dude. Whether it's Shaq Thompson speaking high on him. Yesterday, veteran defensive lineman Brian Burns said, you know when you have a guy who humble with it, but he know he the man, that's Bryce Young. It's hard not to like this kid. He's already put a stamp on the locker room. This is a veteran defensive lineman in Brian Burns who is saying Bryce Young humble with it, but he know he that dude, and he's already put a stamp on the locker room. Good dude, quality dude, hard not to like this dude. And so now you have cornerback Dante Jackson. He's come out and he said, man, I'm so happy we made the move to trade up to the number 1 pick and get the guy that we got because he a dog, and I'm happy to have this dude in here. You're already seeing veteran players talking up Bryce Young with full confidence. You're already seeing veteran players going to bat for Bryce Young in confidence. Why? Because Bryce has gotten into Carolina. He's hit the ground running. He's had his head down. He's working. He's picked up everything thus far that's been thrown at him. And he's been doing it with a true sense of swagger here. So I'm really, really excited for Bryce Young. And, man, I'm just saying, what Frank Reich has going here and Young getting all of these first-team reps, I mean, he was looking good today, in mandatory camp, hitting targeting guys like Hayden Hurst and Terrace Marshall Jr., among others. Bryce is doing his thing out there. I mean, he is really doing his thing out there. And, folks, I'll just say this. Week 1 against Atlanta, the Panthers, that game will be Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I need to try to score some tickets to that game. I don't know if I'm going to get the tickets. I don't know. But I need to try to score some tickets to that game. Because Bryce Young going up against that Atlanta Falcons defense, I want to watch that up close and personal. I want to watch that for myself to see how is that going to shake out, how is that going to boil down, the amount of fun that will be had watching that transpire, on the field. But it's a joy when you sit there and see veteran players talking up Bryce Young the way they are doing right now, and for strong reasons, because Bryce is out there handling that business in this offseason. But as always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material. When it comes down to your Crimson Tide, you can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those hit to your door. That link found in the description You're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine. Here is what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description as well. Got to shout out you guys, the incredible fans of Bama football, for all the phone calls, all the texts, all the donations, all the love, all the likes on the show. You making this your spot here to talk Bama football. We appreciate you guys for all that you do. Also, I got to give some love to my man John Ivory, who producing the show remotely today. Did an incredible job doing that here. Got to show some love here to my man John Ivory for that, taking on that endeavor. And until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.